God is doing something really new in us. Something felt right about the honesty of this. God sees it all the same. I had no concept of what that meant. Am I ever going to make it? Here's where we feel like we are now. We are going to laugh and feel the joy of living again. There's new life happening in us. With this new record, I wanted to do something even musically that said to those people who have journeyed with me, God is doing something really new in us. It was really important for me to be able to share that. We think sometimes of worship and what does it mean to really glorify God with my life. Well, one of the constant themes of my life is to think in terms of whatever we do, we can glorify God in everything.
You're picking up toys on the living room floor for the 15th time today. Matching up socks, sweeping up lost cereals that got away.
As Christians, we sort of divide our lives into the spiritual stuff, you know, my God stuff, and then there's just life. And we all know if we've walked on this journey at all, God shows up in all of it.
Let me remind you, it all matters just as long as you do everything you do to the glory of the one who made you, 'cause he made you.
To encourage the mom changing diapers to the guy who's changing the tires on your car, or CEO at a major corporation. Yeah, this is maybe a big deal in business. Does it really matter eternally? I think we all wrestle with that.
Every little thing you do, yeah.
My hope with this song is just another reminder that from the most seemingly insignificant thing to whatever we might say is, well, that's a big deal, God sees it all the same. If it's done as an act of worship, it's all eternally significant, and it's all an opportunity for us to bring glory to God in our lives. I kind of gave myself permission to just let it be as raw and as honest as it needed to be. And in the process of that, something creatively really happened. God introduced me to the ukulele, a happy new instrument that I feel like I discovered. That's part of kind of this new recreation going on in me. And when I started playing around with that, I wrote a new song on the ukulele. First song I wrote from beginning to end on the ukulele, and it's a song called Long Way Home.
'Cause it's just a long way home.
You cannot not smile when you play a ukulele. And there was just something I felt like I kind of tapped into creatively that I wanted to continue.
Morning has broken.
Morning is broken. I love that melody. And I thought, I got to sing that song. I got to make that statement on this album. I got to the very last verse. Sing with elation. Sing every morning. God's recreation of the new day. It was like there's that word, and it was like, you know, this sirens went off. Recreation is going on in our lives, in our family. Feels like we are really entering into a new season of life, and God really is recreating something in us. My wife talks about it in terms of being in a forest for the last several years, in a very dense, dark forest. It's only been recently that we started to feel like God's standing at the edge of that forest saying, I want to bring you out of the forest, and your daughter is ahead of you. You know, she's a greater part of your future than she is of your past. And I'm leading you out. I'm leading you into this new place. This whole album kind of started in a place of me wanting to recreate some of the songs that have been a part of my journey of the last 20 plus years of doing music, to speak some familiar songs sort of in a new way in light of this sort of rebirth that we felt like was happening in us as a family. You know, I talk about the great adventure a lot, and it says we'll travel over mountains so high, we'll go through valleys so low. I mean, even as it relates to our loss of Maria, it's like, you know, the journey of just her even being a part of our life. That was an amazing mountaintop that I wouldn't trade anything to have missed that. I found myself song after song going, man, there's so much in there that I didn't really even understand when I wrote it. Lyrics that have new meaning to me or deeper meaning.
The love of God will take us far beyond our wildest dreams.
These songs have become profoundly different to me. Magnificent Obsession, I sing that song with this intensity now. Speechless leaves me profoundly undone when I really consider it. I was singing through Heaven in the Real World, to stand in the pouring rain and know the sun's going to shine again, to know that the grave is not the end. You know, it's like to be able to really stand at the grave and say, yeah, this is not the end of the story. I had no concept of what that meant compared to what I understand about that and what that means to me now. All of that, you know, has just become infinitely more precious to me. I don't know that I really understood God is everything that I need until He was the only thing I had. I think I'm more desperate for these songs to be true than ever before. And I understand it so much more deeply now. Recreation is going on in our lives, in our family. Given the opportunity to share that with people and encourage people is a pretty important thing to me.